Be good now. You should probably can hear me. Wow, yeah, everything just got messed up. Yeah, you probably should be good now. You good now? Can we hear? Can we hear? We good? Should be. Let me just quadruple check. Yeah, we good. We good now. Let me pull up these injury reports. We're going over every single game today. Things have changed, man. I mean, boy, I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to come back a certain way on a couple of these games here. Browns injury report. I mean, Amari Cooper, full practice today. I mean, that's pretty big. Amari Cooper, full practice. Marquise Goodwin, full practice. David Njoku, full practice. I mean, what the fuck are we doing, sports books? How is this line not gone to 3 yet? What the fuck? What do you guys think? It makes no sense to me, man. Absolutely no sense to me. And I get it, man. I get the Browns defense gives up a lot of points on the road. I give up Browns on the road. I get this whole angle, right, that people are taking, but it doesn't make sense to me, and I don't buy it. And I don't even think these teams are close. The Texans should have lost to the Colts. They should have lost. I mean, let's be honest. The Colts don't impress me. The Colts really bad. Browns, boy, that's a good roster still. And the Texans are so one-dimensional. They are wildly one-dimensional. Like it's crazy. They will not be running on Cleveland. So is CJ Stroud going to be able to just come into the playoffs for his first time and be Superman? Maybe. But I mean, let's look at the Texans injury report because their receivers are in trouble. I mean, what are they down to? Schultz and Nichols, right? Texans injury report. Let's see if anybody's improved over here for the Texans. Thursday. I want Thursday. Will Anderson still limited practice. So Anderson on defense. I mean, he's not even full strength. Robert Woods limited. Yeah. I'm not really seeing any differences here for the Texans. This is a one-dimensional team. This is I get the trends of first-time playoff versus experienced, and I think that matters a lot in like the Bills Steelers matchup. I think it carries a lot of weight. I don't think it carries a lot of weight in the Packers game. But again, here with the Texans and the Browns, I think it carries a lot of weight. Joe Flacco's a madman. Joe Flacco's nuts. He's a madman. He's going to be maybe throwing a pick or two, and that's fine. I think they can still win with that. They don't give a shit, guys. The Browns are like, they have a good record. They're in a good position. They feel good about their regular season despite the injuries and everything that happened. But they still don't care. I feel like the Browns are loose. I see the Texans playing kind of tight here. Texans kind of lucky to get past the Colts. Didn't impress me against the Colts. They're in. I think Myles Garrett has a big day here. I think CJ Stroud could really be in trouble. As of right now, it's still under a field goal, and that concerns me. You want to see these markets develop. I wanted to see a 3. It sounds crazy. Well, past the 3, 3.5, like steady. I don't want to see it like stuck at this 2.5 area. What I actually personally would rather, what would I feel good about? I would rather see the spread go to 3 and even go to 3.5, and I would lay 3.5. But 2.5, you want to. This doesn't make sense for people that don't bet all the time and on a professional level. I would rather lay or take a worse number with a properly oriented market. So I would rather see the Browns go through that 3, through that key number. I'd rather see the spread go to 3, get juiced, tick to 3.5. That's what I'd rather see to feel good about the Browns. The fact that it is a public play. There is a lot of money on the Browns right now. About 7 out of every 10 wagers on the Browns. And I'll bring up the data right now before we move on to the next game. And it's still Friday, but let's see. Let's check the data. Let's see where all the money is on this Browns game. because it's a big deal. I mean, this is a lot of money for the spread to not be at 3, and I get it. It's an away game. I get how these teams have panned out, but yeah, I mean, Browns are a public play. I mean, there's no way around it. It's pretty even on the spread. It's dead even on the spread, but money line, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Public's going to win some of these, but 60% of bets against the spread are on the Browns. Only 50% of the money. So the money's about split, which isn't crazy. But I really was hoping to see this get to a 3, a very, very strong 3, a true 3, and maybe even tick to 3.5. That would have really made me feel good about maybe putting Browns money line in a parlay or something like that. But the Texans are even juiced at 2.5. I don't know what to do with this one. I think I have an angle, and I'm going to move on some stuff, but I'd rather see this market develop a little bit. So let's move on to the next game, go over some injury reports for this one, because this one sticks out wildly. This one is, I don't know why. Why am I starting to have different feelings than I first thought? First thought, same as everybody else. Should be an absolute blowout. I don't think it's going to be close. The Chiefs, they don't care about the regular season anymore. They have too many Super Bowl wins. They're these big-time celebrities. They got Taylor Swift and all these distractions and celebrities. They don't give a fuck anymore about these regular season games. Sometimes they're not focused. Maybe as bad as they've looked this year, is uninterested in playing winning football as they've looked this year, specifically a couple individuals. Maybe they were waiting for the playoffs, and all of a sudden they wake up and we go, oh my God, the Chiefs look really good. They were the best looking team in wild card week. They're plus 1,000 right now for the Super Bowl, and I think it's absolutely worth a wager. Maybe not a big one, but I can't believe how you guys are going to pass up plus 1,000 on the Chiefs. I mean, if you bet $100 typically, let's say you guys watching right now, you bet, hey, your typical wager is $100, right? Not a dime or a nickel or anything too heavy, but let's say you bet $100 a game traditionally for all your wagers. How can you not throw 25 or $50 on the Chiefs at plus 1,000? It's insane to me. It's crazy. I don't know. Let's see here. Can I show this? Yeah. If you ain't betting the Chiefs and Patrick MVP next year, I don't know about MVP. It's a lot of talent in the league right now, but yeah, they're going to be a good team against the spread next year. You don't think they're winning this year? I mean, I don't either, but at plus 1,000, that's how you bet things, right? That's a lot of value, and I think that's an absolute no-brainer not to take at least like a tenth or a quarter of what you typically bet. Nothing that's going to even affect your life at all. Throw it on the Chiefs. You can bet against it down the road if you really think that's necessary. I already bet the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl at plus 1,000. I took them. Lamar in the playoffs is not good, man. Ravens choke games at the end. I don't trust them at the end of these games. We'll see how it pans out. I love the Ravens. Bet on them a lot this regular season, but nah, I don't know. I'm not feeling the Ravens in the postseason. But let me pull up this injury report, because the Dolphins, man, they're getting stronger. I feel like all they do is hear all this buzz about how they're going to get their ass whooped in the cold weather. I don't know. So here's the injury report as of Thursday. Tyreek Hill, limited practice. Jalen Waddle, limited practice. Raheem Mostert, limited practice. Ramsey, limited. Their other back was full practice. Here's the thing. It all comes down to Waddle and Mostert. If they have both running backs in this game, you got Waddle in there, you got Hill in there. I know the Chiefs the Chiefs defense is good at home, but boy, this is when you want the Dolphins catching 4.5. I mean, if these players suit up and play, you have to take 4.5. You have to do it. You absolutely have to do it. Let's see where the money's at. Let's check the Chiefs game. Let's check the data. Where's the data? Come on. Let's go. Is my mic off? What's going on here? Did I lose this, guys? Did I lose audio? Let me check. Did I lose audio again? I don't know why this keeps turning off. I don't know. Audio probably sounds like shit then because it's not going through the mic. You guys are probably just getting my computer speakers or something. I'll figure it out in the next stream. So my bad about the audio. It probably sounds like super bad. Let's look at the Chiefs data. Let's bring it up. Right here. How heavy is it? It's extremely heavy. 87% on the money line. Everybody has Kansas City in their parlays. Everybody doing a parlay this weekend has Kansas City on the money line. There's no doubt about it. And that scares me. Kansas City's heavy on the spread, 61.1% of the money, 56.4% of the bets. Kansas City's a public play here. Has this gone too far? I mean, it blew through 3 and 4. Has it gone too far? I think we're getting, depending on these injury reports. If Waddle and Mostert are playing, you have to be on the Dolphins. You have to. You just have to. That's called value. You have to do it. You have to just close your eyes and do it. It's not fun, but that's how you win in this industry. Steelers. Let's go to the next game here. Steelers Bills. When we did the opening report, this was 9.5. It's at a 10. I think it's been 10.5 here and there. God, I don't know, man. I don't know, 10 points. I feel like there's no in between. There's no in between. Either Bills win by 20, and this is a complete domination like we've seen before, kind of like the Cowboys game, or this thing comes down to the wire. And I'm not sure I like the Bills coming down the wire because the pressure's on the Bills. Pittsburgh sucks. They're lucky to be here. They're beat up. Do you think they really are playing with any stress? I don't. They're playing with house money. There's no pressure on the Steelers here. They're expected to get killed. The Bills, man, they're still thinking long term. They still think they can raise the trophy at the end of the year. And boy, if Josh Allen just continues to screw up mentally and make these mistakes, this game could for sure get very, very interesting. Two-headed monster at running back for Pitt. But their last 3 games are absolutely pathetic. You played the Bengals. You played Seattle, one of the absolute worst teams against the run. And then you had backups in the Ravens games. And in the Ravens game that they won, it wasn't even that impressive. I mean, they barely got by the Ravens with backups. So I don't know. I see no in between. I see no in between. I think taking 10 with Pittsburgh is a middle ground, and it's stupid. I would go alternative spread. I would take like Pittsburgh plus like 3.5 or 4.5 if I liked Pitt. If I think Pitt's going to show up and have a good effort here and be competitive, I think they keep it. I think it's going to be a game-winning field goal or a 4-point game. I don't see it landing at 10. I see complete blowout or someone wins by a field goal. You hate to be greedy. I mean, you take the 10 if you want, but spread doesn't make sense to me. And the trends with a total this low with a double-digit favorite, it favors the Bills tremendously. Bills are good at home. We'll see what happens. Not too much to talk about with the injury report on that one. So I'm a Packers fan. This next game is perhaps a little bit biased. I have absolutely no idea. I have zero clue how the Cowboys are going to beat the Packers with margin. How are they going to get out of a one-possession game? I don't see it. I have no idea. People are not paying attention to all the players back on Green Bay's defense. Quay Walker, Devondre Campbell, Jair Alexander. They still got Gary in there. They still got all these other players that have been playing. Darnell Savage, Eric Stokes. I mean, they got a good D-line. What are we doing here? Dallas cannot run the ball. Tony Pollard is a small back. You're not ramming him down. I think the Packers D, as bad as it's been all year, is pathetic as it is, and everyone likes to talk bad on the Packers D. That's fine. I bet it shows up this week. I bet Dak throws. I mean, we all know Dak in the playoffs is different. We all know the pressures on the Cowboys here. Tremendous pressure. The most pressure out of any wild card game this whole week. The pressure on the Cowboys is tremendous. If Dak gets shaky, if they get off to a bad start, they're in big trouble. They're going to lose this game outright to the Packers. There has to be one game that shocks the world. There has to be. There has to be. We cannot get through wild card weekend without at least one game being like, wow, I can't believe that happened. And this would be certainly one of those. The Packers win this game outright. I mean, what are they, 5-0 in that stadium? We all know how the Packers and the Cowboys have turned out in the playoffs before. I give the coaching advantage to LaFleur. Jordan Love playing good. Maybe they get some guys back. Maybe they have Watson in this game, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. You can run the ball in the Cowboys. I know their pass rush is okay, but they're undersized. I like the Packers here. The only thing that scares me is the market because it's public. It's public. It's beyond public. Maybe things have switched. Let me pull up the data. But when I checked it 2 days ago, the Green Bay money was crazy. Now, we're talking midweek. We're talking professionals, people who do this for a living. Obviously, the casuals will come running in here on Sunday and bet the Cowboys. And that might even things out and make me feel better about my position. Okay, so things have changed. Okay, so the money's on Dallas now, and it's come off the 7.5, and it's down to 7. I like Green Bay here. I like Green Bay. I think they can win the game outright. I really do. 93.3% of the money on the money line is on Dallas. So when we're talking parlays, okay, this is how books make the money. They know people are going to beat them on the spread. They know people can find value if they go hard like me. But everyone does parlays, and that's how they make their money. They wipe out all people who are trying to, take a small bankroll to bet with and try to get rich quick and all that nonsense. So it's Chiefs or Cowboys. I find it very hard to believe both are going to win. I know it sounds insane, but something has to happen in wild card week. That's crazy. Browns, Texans, doesn't matter who wins. You wouldn't say that the outcome would be crazy. Pittsburgh over the Bills would certainly be crazy, but I just don't see that happening. So I'm going to throw that out the window for now. It's got to be the Chiefs or the Cowboys. It's got to be. Eagles game doesn't matter. Give me the Bucks or give me the Eagles. You watch the game, whatever team wins, you go, I guess I could have seen that. But the Cowboys losing or the Chiefs losing would certainly be a big shock to everybody and wipe out some money. I think the Packers absolutely are live here. There's already $1 million on this game, about 940,000. This is only my FanDuel account linked through this Pickett app. But 60% of the money against the spread's on Dallas. This thing's hanging out at 7. If this goes to 6.5, if this actually comes off the 7 and goes to 6.5 before game time, with Dallas being a public play, if you don't take Green Bay on the money line, you're fucking nuts. If this thing goes to a 6.5, you take that 6.5 of the Packers and you fucking hammer it, in my opinion. I like to see. I haven't made too many plays yet. By the way, guys, if you are just coming by my channel, you can become a member here. You don't have to just subscribe. There's going to be a playlist out. I already have a post with 2 plays for Wild Card Week. We're coming off a 6-2 week last week. One of them was a suggestion play, but for every pick I gave out last week, I went 6-2 in NFL Week 18. Last week of the regular season is the hardest week to bet of the year. So if you guys want to become a member, it's $30. You'll know everything I'm betting this weekend officially. But let's continue. I'll keep giving you guys my opinions on this stuff. I like the Packers. End of story. I like the Packers here. We'll see if it ticks to 6.5. If it goes 6.5, I'm nuking it. I like the over too. By the way, totals, first 3 games, no clue. No clue. I'm not touching the Pittsburgh total. Because turnovers from Josh Allen might give Pittsburgh some short fields. That's just a weird game. I don't know how it's going to play out. The weather's crazy, all that nonsense. Miami, Kansas City, very cold game. Total's 44. I think that's right. I think it's an accurate line. I'm not going to touch it. I'd have to go under if I had to touch it. The Browns, Texans, I think I'd lean over because the playing environment's pretty good. Browns defense isn't quite as good on the road, and Flacco, he's a wild man. I mean, he's just slinging the ball around. Maybe he throws picks, and maybe Texans get some short fields, capitalize on that. C.J. Stroud will put a couple scores up, and the Browns will definitely get their points with Amari Cooper and Goodwin and all these guys looking like they're 100% healthy or close to it. So I like the over in the Packers game. Everyone keeps saying, the Cowboys defense is good. No, it's not. No, it's not. Parsons, undersized. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Packers gave up some points to the Panthers. They gave up some points to to the Bucs at home. You don't think Dak's going to get his points? Now, Dak might screw up and the Packers might win the game, but 50.5, it seems light to me. That seems light. That's mid-20s. That's 25 apiece. 27-24, and this game's going over. 27-24? You don't think they're going to get to 27-24? You're fucking nuts. It would take long drives resulting in field goals from some weird fluke things to keep that total under. I'd have to go over in the Packers game. Let's get to the second to the last game here. And this one's for sure interesting. Right now the lines are -3 and it's juiced. It's -118. I'm waiting on this one. Let's look up the injury reports. I don't know. I mean, Cooper Kupp's ready to rock. Rams are super healthy. The O-line. This Lions defense, man, you can score on them. Can you run on them? Probably not. Everyone's been talking about this running offense for the Rams coming on so strong here at the end of the year. Yeah, nah, I'm not buying it. I don't think the Rams are going to run the ball very well here. But Stafford could light this team up. He could light this team. The secondary is giving it up. Cooper Kupp, Nakua. I mean, come on. They're giving up points. I'll lean over. I know it's a high total. I know it's the playoffs, and I know the trends with the unders. 51.5, similar to the Packers. Who's stopping who? Who's stopping who? Now, if Laporta's out for the Lions, maybe their offense struggles, but they can always lean on Montgomery and Gibbs. I mean, just those two alone, they can scheme up some screens and some different looks from closer to the line of scrimmage. They obviously have St. Brown still out there. Give me the over. That line's too light as well. I like the over in both of those second two Sunday games, 4:00 and 8:00 game. I like the over. As far as the spread, really no clue. I got to wait on the market to develop with this one. I really do. It's at 3. I want to see which way it moves off the 3. It's going to move. Okay? It's going to move off the 3. Which way does it move? We'll see. I mean, if it gets clearly everyone hammered 3.5 because it's back down at 3. This line was 3.5. So as soon as it got to 3.5, it got bought up, which is interesting. And that makes sense. The Rams are, quarterback edge. I don't know. I think they're about even, but I think Jared Goff has a much, much higher likelihood of screwing up. I don't see Stafford throwing like a bad interception to where you have to fucking look away from the TV and you're like, I can't believe he threw that. I don't really see that from Stafford. Offensive potential, equal. Stafford's probably got better weapons in this game. Defenses are both trash. I don't care what anyone says. Horrible. God awful. I don't care what anybody says. Give me the over, and I got to wait to see where the line goes. If it goes back to 3.5, I probably like the Lions in the spot on the money line. Lay the juice. If this thing ticks to 2.5, oof, boy, because the Lions are a public play. Just ever so slightly. Let's go ahead and take a last look and see if things have changed. Has it changed? Lines data. Rams lines. Where's the money at? Nope, Rams are public now. Rams are heavy public. Extremely heavy. 76.3% of the money is on the Rams against the spread. 74.5% of bets. So that percentage of the bets on the game against the spread are on the Rams. Money line also is heavy on the Rams. 60%. 60% of the money on the money line is on the Rams. And this handle's already up to 1.2 mil. People are going to love this game. This is the primetime game. It's Sunday night. There's going to be so much money. We'll see what happens. With all this money on the Rams, there's your answer. If this thing holds at a 3 or even ticks back to 3.5, I'm on the Lions. If the books start to respect all the money on the Rams here, and this goes under 3, it goes to 2.5, Lions money line immediately. Right now, the lines are still juiced, even at the 3. Oddly, Lions still. Let's get to this last game, guys. Eagles Bucks. I mean, what do we think? Is this a buy low spot? Is this the ultimate buy low spot on the Eagles? It's going to depend on the injury report. Let me read it to you guys. Eagles injury report. Based on this injury report, I can tell you I'll be hammering one side or another. And I fully believe that by the time Monday comes around, my betting account will be nice and healthy. So here's the Thursday report. Okay, A.J. Brown did not play. Jalen Hurts, limited practice. Darius Slay, full practice. Devonta Smith, full practice. DeAndre Swift, full practice. That's excellent for the Eagles. Devonta Smith is a big one. I mean a big one. A.J. Brown didn't practice on Thursday. That's not good. Usually Devonta Smith is only super effective because he's got A.J. Brown taking up most of the attention from the defense. So if A.J. Brown doesn't play, I would definitely be concerned that Devonta Smith is going to be effective. Can they still beat the Bucks just running the ball with that O-line, that veteran O-line, and using people like Dallas Goedert? Sure. I mean, that Bucks game to end the season was horrible. Let's look at the Bucks injury report. Baker, man. See, the problem is, I don't know how accurate it is, but I've heard inside information that Baker, this dude's beaten like to a pulp. Like, by not healthy, like, he almost shouldn't be playing in this game. Ankle, ribs. How effective is he going to be? And maybe this Eagles defense, the pass rush that's been so absent that everyone's been talking about. I mean, that's all the Eagles have heard for 5 weeks. And they've continued to lose. So I'm not giving them credit. I'm not bailing them out. They failed to make adjustments and show up. But the talent's there. The roster's there. Can they come alive out of the blue and all of a sudden look like they're a threat in the NFC? Yeah, they can. We'll see what happens. I want to see the final injury report with A.J. Brown. But boy, does it not feel like a sell high on the Bucks and a buy low on the Eagles? The Bucks limp into the playoffs only because they play in a trash division. The Eagles absolutely fumbled down the stretch, but at the end of the day, the roster is good and they've been there before. They've got guys that have won a Super Bowl on the team. Baker? A beat-up Baker Mayfield? Can they get by the Eagles? The spread's reasonable. I'd lean Eagles right now, but we got to see on the money line. I think that's pretty much it, guys. That's every game. Injury reports. Things are going to change. I might go live again tomorrow night, so make sure you're subscribed with the notifications turned on. I might just go live randomly tomorrow morning. I don't know. If things change, I'm going to pop on here. I'm going to give some last opinions. And if you want my best bets, the stuff I'm going to absolutely nuke personally, the stuff I've been hitting good at, just become a member. It's $30. You join right now. You put $30 on my best bet this weekend, or one of my best bets this weekend, and you're paid for. And then you get what I'm thinking the whole rest of the way. College basketball, I've been heating up, and those are just about to drop. I'm going to start dropping them on Tuesday. What I like to do when I bet games is I like to bet enough, like college basketball, NBA, when these sports come around, baseball in the spring, I like to bet enough quietly under the radar to where every week I'm consistently at a winning rate to where I think it's worth suggesting to people. And college hoops right now is above that. It's been a really good 2 weeks. So look forward to that coming out. I watched a bunch of NBA tonight. Didn't bet any of it, but I watched a bunch. I mean, I'm just absorbing it. I'm just watching as much as I can watch. And we're gonna crush basketball. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. See you in the next video.